I just had a crazy trip, but you also went on a trip.
Yes, but I don't even know what I was going to say. I'm Chris Lujan.
I am called BINDU.
This is the I Ams. So you say I went on a trip this weekend, right?
Yeah.
So we went, me and Andre Cruz and Chris Lujan, the name of our act. We went on the road Friday and Saturday.
I mean, is it an act? It's like...
It is an act because my name is Chris Lujan and you're not signed. You have not signed Chris Lujan. Chris Lujan is free to do whatever he wants to do. You have signed Andre Cruz and Chris Lujan. You know what I mean? So all of that is in one place. Hence, it's an act.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
I do.
So the act that's Andre Cruz and Chris Lujan, we had a show on Friday and a show on Saturday. And they were with the Sextones, who are our homies, right? We did a tour with them 2 years ago. Mark Sexton, Chris Sexton, Alex Korostinsky, and Dan Weiss, right? The Sextones. Sextones. So we went on tour with them 2 years ago, but the way we went on tour, me and Andre are the only ones who went on tour with them, and then we didn't have a backing band. They backed us. So the Sextones learned our set, learned how to play all of the songs we were playing on that little run, and they backed us, and it was awesome. And we rode in a van with them. We stayed at the same places as them. They stayed at my parents' house, so they're just the homies, And me and Alex kind of hit it off because Alex is a studio nerd like I am. And so we have a project. I actually drove to his place in January of last year, stayed at his place for 3 days while we wrote and recorded. And then, we developed it over time because he has a studio, I have a studio, so we work together. So that's how good a homies with Alex I am. But then collectively, Dan is he's the guy who brought us into the fold, right? Dan Weiss, who's the drummer. So he brought us into the fold originally when he was like, hey, come play with the Sextones. We didn't meet the rest of the Sextones until we got to Seattle and got in their van. Dan, we had been talking to.
I see.
Right? So Dan has been in our corner since day one, trying to get us gigs. So he got us these gigs again. And he's always let me come play drums with you, man. And he's so dope. He's
I like the enthusiasm.
He's you don't even have to pay me. I love you guys. I'll do it for free. I just want to play with you. So
that's the vibe you want to be around.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. And then Mark and Chris, we're all friends. There's actually a group text that every once in a while someone will send something to in the past 2 years,
I love it.
So we're playing with...
And no one deletes it. It just keeps going.
Yeah, so we played in Costa Mesa on Friday. So Friday morning, we drive straight to the club. It seemed like it took forever. I think
For those of you guys not in California, we're in the San Francisco Bay Area. So if you drive down the coast, you can hit this spot.
Yeah, and it's San Francisco and Los Angeles are not 2 hours away from each other.
No, if you're driving at 90 miles an hour, you can get there in about 5 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, so typically it's a 6 hour average.
Where would you drive 90 miles an hour? Well, in California, there's a road called the 5.
Yeah.
And it is a straight fucking road through the desert.
Boring as shit.
You can go 160 miles an hour.
Yeah, pretty straight, no turns, no ups and downs, nothing. Yeah.
You just have to be awake and don't crash.
Yeah.
That's it.
And there's no lights out there if you're coming back in the middle of the night either.
Yeah, and it's very acid. Roads. It's the same shit happening.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yep.
When does this end?
Look, cows. Look, cows.
Look, another big truck. Fuck.
Look, cows.
Yeah.
So we get to Costa Mesa, and we get there pretty early because we're let's go hang with the Sextones. So it's
hell yeah.
They had to arrive
Let's go hang with the homies.
Yeah, so they were supposed to arrive at 4 o'clock for their load-in, and our load-in was at 5. And I was I don't want to be late. And so we, because by the time we left the house, we were on our way to Andre's mom's. We would have only been there for 20 minutes before we then had to leave. So I was let's just go straight to the club. So we basically got there.
How's Andre's mom? She cook?
Yeah, all the time. She's great. There's no greater.
In my mind, I was hoping you were going to say yes, and you did.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay.
She's the best. And
because you guys go there and you're fuck the hotel, man. And I'm
hi, Priscilla. Andre's going to hate that. But
wow, that's a dope name.
So we went straight to the club. So we were there like a little before 4 when the Sextones showed up, right? So it's just the heartiest of hugs and all of that, you know. And the show was supposed to start at 7 o'clock and end at 9. They had a hard stop at 9 o'clock because they had another show after ours. Not just another band, another show. So we had a hard stop at 9. So we were supposed to start at 7.
So hard stop at 9, like you're stopping at 8:45 and getting all your shit off the stage and you're gone by 9, or you're like 9, you're done.
I think 9, you're done. So we were supposed to start at 7 and go to 7:45, and then the Sextones would start at 8 and go till 9.
Cool.
Right? I think that's what it was supposed to be. So all clubs make you start a little bit later because the expectation is if they start 15 minutes later, there's going to be more people in here. That's just always happens. So if you ever go to a show and you're wondering, why haven't they started yet? That's typically why.
No, but you got musicians right now watching this going, fuck yeah, man.
Yeah. Aunt Debbie kept asking, why'd you guys start so late? You know, that kind of thing. So they pushed the show back to 7:15, right? So it's like, okay, 7:15. And being a musician, like you said, the musicians all are like, yeah, so I already know why it's being pushed back. No questions. And so we go up at 7:15. We have our set list in front of us. It's just me and Andre, right? Because we're doing this show as a duo. We also play shows as a 7-piece band, a 5-piece band, but to keep things simple, we do it as a duo. And so we start at 7:15. We have our set list in front of us. We're playing. We get to the last song, which is called The Real Thing.
Woo! My favorite.
I would say it's our signature song.
Fuck yeah,
Right?
it is.
It's the name of our first album, the first real single we put out. That's, maybe...
Motherfucker, that's how I end my show.
Yeah, I know. I know, and you almost end it the same way Andre does. So we're sitting next to each other, or even if it's the 7-piece band, Andre says, I'm Andre Cruz. I'm Andre Cruz. This is Chris Lujan. Ladies and gentlemen, this is The Real Thing. And we start playing The Real Thing. Right?
I think it's because it's perfectly designed for that.
Yeah, unbeknownst to me, writing it just for a record. It's not like I was writing it. This will be a way to end the show.
But you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
For me to end the show the way, and for Andre to do it very similar.
Yeah.
And us not know, right?
Yeah.
I think the song is just it naturally.
Yeah.
It's the perfect end song.
Yeah, and it starts off as a ballad. I was telling you this earlier. I think people may be surprised that our last song is a ballad because usually you want like a cooking number, whatever. Keep the crowd like hyped.
Jitterbug.
So we kick into a ballad, The Real Thing, but the outro of The Real Thing is very lively, and it could get real rocking, you know. So it's the perfect way to end the show. The song is beautiful, then it gets to this rocking outro, and the crowd gets whipped up. And
Andre just fucking
right. So the way the song is, it's intro, chorus, verse, chorus, outro, right? Whatever. Just bear with me.
No, it's the baseball. It's the baseball.
So we play the...
There's people paying attention.
Yeah, so we play the intro. I'm going to have to tell you this exactly how I told it to you.
And then there's other people going, what?
Yeah. So we play the intro, right, to The Real Thing, and we start playing the first chorus, which is the first real section after the intro. And I see someone come up on stage on my left, right? But that happens sometimes. Someone will come up on stage from the next band and like grab their guitar to tune it or warm up or something, right? Okay. So no surprise that someone's coming on stage. No big deal. And it honestly, it happens so much, you just ignore it.
So you and Andre are fading out. Your song's done.
No.
You're playing your song.
This is the first verse.
Okay.
Because it's
people are
intro, chorus, verse.
People are going on stage.
Yeah. So I see someone come on stage like by me here. Okay. And like I said, it happens so often, you just ignore it. Why draw attention to this thing? You know he's just getting a guitar or whatever, right? Then all of a sudden I see like, oh, it's happening. Like Alex comes up on this side. I think Mark comes up. I think they just jumped right up on the stage. Maybe Dan was the last one up. I can't remember the order because like I said, I was ignoring it at
for
first.
The audience, you're holding a bass.
I'm holding a guitar.
You're holding a guitar.
Yeah.
You're playing.
Yeah.
As you're looking left to right.
So the thought that was going through my head...
Like Back to the Future and shit.
Yeah, shit. The thought that was going through my head was, oh, they have to because the show got pushed back 15 minutes and there's a hard stop at 9, I thought, someone must have told them to start right when we're done.
Yeah.
You know, like we end our song, they start theirs.
But you got to keep your shit together. You're a professional.
Yeah, so I'm like, we're like, whatever, they'll do their thing when it's their turn.
There's an audience watching you as all of this is happening.
That sounded so rude. They could have their turn, but you know, like we'll finish our song and then they'll start, you know.
Yeah.
And so
right now it's my stage.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm focused here, right?
Straight up.
And so we're in the first verse. So it must have been like right at the beginning of the song, someone started coming up because we're in the middle of the first verse, and Dan just boom, boom, and then the whole band was in.
Hell yes.
And it felt so good.
And a glorious warm light.
I'm telling you, that's how it was. It was like, you know, that. I know you haven't seen it, but that moment in Scott Pilgrim where and the sword comes out and like I have achieved something, you know. It was quite glorious.
Well, that's very Zelda.
Yeah, that too. Maybe that's where it comes from. But it just was so good. They sounded so great, and like I the words I used was it was like such a gift. You know, it was basically like they were like all four of them like to us like we love you guys. That's really what it felt like. Now,
how wonderful. Man.
It was great.
I wish did anyone record this?
Yeah, Andre's mom has it. I guess we'll have to get it, you know. And toss it up at the end of this extra long outro. What the fuck?
Oh yeah, or a whole nother episode.
Yeah, possibly. We'll see.
Yeah,
which will make it all funny, because Maceo doesn't want us to do part 1s and part 2s anymore. So hilarious. It's like we'll just this will reference something else. Make sure to like and subscribe and join our Discord and Patreon. Check out our links.
Now back to the show. You know what, man? We just talk. We never know what's going to end. But like Maceo's really important the way Robin was important to Batman.
Yeah.
You know, Batman doesn't know the slang of the youth because it's constantly in movement, constantly changing.
I don't even know it.
And yeah, Maceo knows that. It's like hip hop right now is reflecting the time right now. I don't know what it is. It doesn't resonate with me at all. I was watching the surviving members of the Beastie Boys, and somebody was asking them their thoughts on today's hip hop, and he goes, "Well, today's hip hop's not for me. It's for them."
Oh yes, yeah, I've seen that.
Right? It's right. So I don't have a comment on it.
Yeah.
You know, I have my shit.
You're right.
And I'm only now realizing that, like, all this new Star Wars shit, it's evolved into something. Right. So
it's not for you.
You asked me an important question that I didn't get into.
What, episodes ago?
Yep.
Okay.
You asked me an important question on what was the last Star Wars thing that I took in.
That you consumed, whether it be you watched a movie or a show or bought a comic book or bought a book or a character. Yeah.
I put a lot of thought into that. Okay. And I have an answer now. Are you ready?
Yes.
I was watching everything on Disney Plus, hoping and waiting for things to get better, and they just weren't. I didn't watch the show Andor that everyone's telling me it's great. Right,
that's what you mentioned. Instead of mentioning what you did consume, you mentioned what you didn't.
Right.
So you want to clear up what you did.
Right. So the show came on.
That was a mouthful.
I got it though. You were right there. You're there. The Acolyte. The Acolyte was a newer show that came out not long ago.
Okay.
And it was the new Jedi shit. Right?
It is Star Wars related.
It's fucking Star Wars.
So this is how far out of it I am. I've never heard of that in my life.
Okay, so listen, it's Disney Plus. They got a whole new series, and it's called The Acolyte.
Is it live or animated?
It's live.
Okay.
Actors. And it's like 8 or 9 episodes or whatever. Who cares?
This is what you watched.
Right.
Okay.
So the first episode comes on, and the big draw is Trinity from The Matrix.
Okay.
She's a fucking Jedi.
Right? I mean, she was in The Matrix, right?
Right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so follow me on this.
Jump cut.
The very first time I saw Star Wars in 1977, right? Obi-Wan Kenobi was trying to explain to a farm boy that there was this magical shit, the Force, connecting everybody.
Yeah.
Right? And to prove it, they're flying away from the bad guys, They're on a ship. They're going a little bit faster than light speed. And while they're traveling, he's going to give them a lesson. And he puts on a welding mask. He's like, I can hardly see. Perfect, right? And he takes out a laser sword. And so now this guy he's never held a laser sword before. Now he has on a welding mask, and there's a little tiny robot ball flying through the air. Is trying to shoot him.
Sure.
With a little shock.
So he's supposed to use the Force to deflect the bullets.
Blindfolded.
Okay.
Right? And the first time he doesn't get it, and shoots him in the ass. Ah! Right? Han Solo starts laughing and shit, right? And then Obi-Wan...
Han Solo?
Yeah. Han Solo's in the ship.
Like Harrison Ford Han Solo?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Han Solo just got them away from the bad guys.
I just assumed these were new actors, a new story. You're saying this is really tied to it.
No. Follow me. We went back to 77, the first time I saw Star Wars.
Oh, fuck.
We're back in Star Wars.
I'm fucked up.
No, you're there.
Okay.
You've seen Star Wars.
Yeah.
You know the scene I'm talking about, right? Luke then uses the Force and blocks. Ching, ching, ching. And he goes, you know something? I can feel it. Right? And he goes, you just started your bigger world, blah, 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 wizard talk. Okay? Right? And then Star Wars became this gigantic thing.
Yeah.
Right? Decades later, they come up with the prequel. And the prequel now has Yoda. And Yoda is teaching a whole fucking classroom of tiny little kids with these laser swords.
This isn't when Yoda was introduced. Yoda was introduced when?
In Empire Strikes Back.
So then you're saying when the prequels happen, so basically like episode 1, now we're seeing Yoda again, and this is what he's doing.
He's teaching a whole class. All these little kids.
See, I don't know my Star Wars.
No, it's all right. It's all right, right? Everyone watching knows.
Yeah,
right?
okay, good.
Everyone's following me, right? So we see Yoda. He's teaching a whole classroom of little blindfolded children with laser swords.
Yeah.
And everyone's being cool, right? And they're all practicing. No one can see. No one's cutting anyone. It's a kindergarten class for exceptionally talented children. Okay?
Yeah.
These are the children, Chris. Then they become Padawan, and then they become Jedi, and then they become Jedi Master. Now, back to the Acolytes.
Sounds like karate.
Exactly that. It's exactly that. Right? Jedi Master's black belt. Okay. So, Trinity, first 5 minutes of the movie, is a Jedi Master.
Okay.
An assassin comes to fight her. An assassin that is not a Jedi. Just a ninja. A woman ninja.
Okay.
They proceed. The woman ninja comes right up to the Jedi and it's like, I'm going to fucking kill you, bitch. And the Jedi was like, Trinity's like, go ahead, I'm Matrix, right? And this ninja throws a dart. And Trinity didn't see it and fucking kills Jedi Master Trinity right then
already.
And there. Done. 5 minutes.
Thank you. That's a wrap on what's her face?
Right.
I can't think of her name. Carrie Ann. No. what's her name?
Close.
Yeah.
Right? You keep thinking about them black pants and that ass on that motorcycle. I know, motherfucker. You go to say her name. I mean, it's Moss.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Yeah. So the point I'm getting at is this. This is first 5 minutes. They get into a little spat, and then the assassin throws a dart, and the Jedi Master does not see it, and it kills the Jedi Master, and the Jedi Master dies. And I wait to see the explanation, and that they just move on with the story.
Okay,
so right then and there, I changed the channel.
Okay.
I picked up my phone. I canceled my Disney Plus, and I gave up on Star Wars.
So you watched part of the first episode.
Okay, so listen. If the very first thing that I ever got taught about the Force in 1977 was that the very first fucking thing a Jedi does is learn how to block shit without seeing it. That's the very fucking first lesson.
No, my only point was I'm not trying to offend you. I
No,
was
no,
just
no,
saying.
you're not offending me. Listen, follow me. Just listen.
Oh, I get it. I know what you're saying.
If the very first thing the audience has ever seen of Star Wars is that
fallacy.
a Jedi can fucking block without seeing, right?
Yeah.
How then did they kill a Jedi Master without her seeing?
Yeah, I understand it.
The second that happened, I realized that the creators no longer know what their IP is. They have no idea what this lore is.
Right.
They have
We're just making up stories.
Right. They don't know what this is, right? It's just like the Snyderverse with fucking the Watchmen movie.
So that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is like you watched part of one episode. You said it was a 9-episode thing.
Mm-hmm.
So the last thing you consumed was part of episode 1.
5 minutes of it.
That's all I was trying to get to. I wasn't trying to be like, you let that turn you off. I was saying, so the last thing you consumed.
No, but there are people at home not understanding why I got so upset.
Uh-huh.
And it's because I realized that the creators have no idea what a Jedi is.
Right.
And they're making movies and shows and shit. Mm-hmm. And it's like, okay, I'm checked out, right? And I made a comment a while ago about the Snyderverse people.
Damn.
Right? I know. But whatever.
No. I'm not even, like, all of a sudden it went through my head. Like, this is, like, way inside baseball. That the last episode, the one where you went on your hallucinogenic journey, could totally be called Return of the Jedi.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, you know what's funny about Return of the Jedi? No one even knows what Return of the Jedi is.
Yeah.
Right? Because Luke never became a Jedi. He never completed his training. And when he left Yoda was like, don't leave, bitch. Mm-hmm. And he left, right? Yoda was like, well, he finished his training, right? But he didn't.
Yeah.
Yoda got pissed. So when Luke finally showed back up, right? And he's like, I'm here for my training. Yoda was like, no, bitch, that's done. And he dies. Mm-hmm. And he laughs at him. And the guy's like, well, I am a Jedi. And Yoda goes, oh, no, you're not. No, you're not. And he dies. Mm-hmm. And that's the last lesson Luke ever got, right? Mm-hmm. So who is the Jedi? What's the Return of the Jedi, right? When Anakin, at the very end, Darth Vader, decides to save his son and kill the Emperor, that was Anakin returning to the Jedi. Mm-hmm. That is the Return of the Jedi, and people don't even fucking know.
See, this is what's so great about like the way your brain works is that like you have these like opposite takes. I guess we'll just say opposite take on something that the general public will have like a take, and you'll have this like opposite take that sounds too fantastical, right? But all of the knowledge you have to back it all up, it's like you can't fuck with them.
No.
You know?
I know.
That's what's so great about it is you could talk about all of this stuff and you could take the craziest take where people are like, either fuck that guy or, oh my God, I've never thought of this. But you have so many facts to back it up.
Yeah. And it's compiled. Like
ladies and gentlemen.
Right? But not only that.
Oh yeah, all of his arguments stored.
One last thing.
Sure.
Because I was talking shit about the Snyderverse, right?
Yeah.
This is what I mean about the Snyderverse, right?
Uh-huh.
The Snyderverse, he understands what looks cool, but he doesn't understand the message. So he made the Watchmen.
They're very glossy. They have a clear-coated sheen to them.
They're beautiful.
Yeah.
Right. So when he did,
but I'm saying that keeps you from getting in.
I agreed.
You know,
the Watchmen, right? For the big spoilers, fuck faces, right? And I mean that with love. But the Watchmen is a story. It's a sick joke. Mm-hmm. The symbol of the Watchmen is a happy face with the blood on it. Mm-hmm. It's a metaphor for a sick joke, right? Mm-hmm. The joke is the biggest, baddest, toughest government bad guy has lost his mind. How did this happen? He lost his mind.
How did this happen?
It's like what if Batman lost his mind and then got his ass beat and you found a bloody bat symbol, mm-hmm. right? Who could do that? Right? And so that's what the Watchmen was. Who could beat the comedian up like that? No one could do that. Right? And that started the whole fucking movie, mm-hmm. right? Well, what drove the comedian insane, not insane, but broke him, was him learning that his old partner was actually going to teleport a ridiculous squid monster.
Right.
Created by artists and bioengineers, all of that.
And that's one of the main things in where the movie differs from the book.
The Snyderverse took the octopus out.
Right.
Right. Okay. So if you take the octopus out of the Watchmen, that's the joke. If you don't have the joke, there's no what are you even doing?
Sure.
That's what I'm saying. The Snyderverse makes these things look great, but they don't even know what the fuck they're doing. So he'll make the perfect looking Batman, but Batman's killing everybody, and it's like, he doesn't really do that no more, man. He did that in the 40s.
Yeah.
But that's that. Oh, Michael Keaton.
And so you don't see that. You don't see it as this is their take on it. You see it more as, oh, they don't know.
Well, if let's just say you were to come into DC and you're the new Batman writer, creator team, right?
I am.
Okay. You can do whatever you want except this.
That's what it says in the contract.
Right. You can do anything you want except this. And these are the bullet points you cannot change. Right?
Yeah, I got that list.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't get that list.
Oh, shit.
Exactly. He does whatever the fuck he wants. And it's like, no, dude, you can't do that. And now, then you'll have a whole sea of people going, Snyderverse. And it's like,
so Snyder's the director, right? Is he basically like the dude who was like, I want robot spiders.
Yes.
I want them fighting.
Absolutely.
But he's the director. So since he's the one with the ideas, it's like no one could tell him no.
Except he came into my room and he saw all the cool shit. But he doesn't understand it. He just knows it's cool. And he's made a movie about it.
Right.
And he made it look exactly like the comic. Except we're going to make a change. And it's like, bro, the thing that you changed was the whole comic.
Yeah.
You don't get it. You're dumb. You're dumb. And
so what are you trying to clear up?
There are hell of those people.
Okay.
And they make up the nerd lore now.
Yeah, I guess.
And those people will argue with me. And it's like, oh my God, man. What a trip.
I hear you.
Frodo arguing with Gandalf. What a movie that would be, right? Bilbo actually keeping the ring and telling Gandalf to get the fuck out, boomer. Quit gatekeeping. What a stupid fucking movie that would be.
It's Jurassic Park, but they don't even need fences. They just stay in their habitats.
I hope that clears everything all up, man.
Yeah, it sounds like it all makes sense now.
There you go.
Oh boy.
Oh, what a mess. That's great.
No, that was fun. That
was good.
So easy to play with your touch. Darling, I ain't get to boast. And I'm not here to whine. I'm just lucky I get to tell you I'm so glad that you're mine. So give me the real thing, baby. Give me the truth. I know you've seen it all before. All I want is you. Oh, shit. You fill up my senses. Your love leaves me defenseless, and that ain't all. So give me the real thing, baby, and I'll give you all of me. I ain't got no control. Oh, let's say it. And I ain't got no control.